Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Formula Ford soft race on a Monday night. As always, we are following the iRacing calendar with the official iRacing races, but a change of time here tonight. It is an hour earlier, and it's given us a soft of 3.1, 3,130. Sorry, not 3.1. That'd be a terrible soft. My name is David Whitehouse, and I'm here to take you through the action here tonight. Here at Phillip Island. Not a most popular circuit. We've got a grid of 13 for the top split here tonight who are out there qualifying at this moment in time. And we will see exactly how they get on when we go through the grids. Phillip Island on the coast of Australia. You can see the sea in the background there. Really being the a really good motorcycle track. And it does lend itself to good car racing if the cars aren't megally quick, which our Formula Ford 1600s are not the full-on downforce ridden Formula One cars, but it does allow you to slide the car, take it to the limit around the corners, and you can do on the long corners here at Phillip Island. So we'll just go and have a look at the qualifying so far and see how things are stacking up. Here we go. It is the two Finns on pole position at the moment, or should I say on the front row, that being Jarno Markku on pole position and Ossi Turka on second. Mikey Pollard will take over third place at this moment in time from Alex Easter, who we normally see in the soft race. Philip Lindquist, Stephen Strudwick, Graham Hunt is in again. Joshua Harley, Eduardo Batista, Mike Glazier, Frederick Surley, and Ron Scheel. See how this second lap goes for Markku. Currently trying to get another lap in if he requires to. While I do that, I will just move where my stream deck is plugged in, because for some reason it's having it. Nope. So we're going old mouse style tonight. Mark Turka comes across the line and sets pole position. Can Markku beat it? No, he can't. Just short of the pole position time set by his countryman. Mikey Pollard has just come to rest as well. Here's Alex Ister, who's just finished his lap. Ignore the meatball that's come up for Markku. That was him blowing his engine after qualifying. Frederick Surley is out on the track at the moment in the Filmbil car. Filmbil, the company that sponsors this stream, and also is Frederick Surley's own company that helps you with your car needs for film, TV, even for stunts as well, and a bit of stunt driving in there. Let's hope that doesn't come in useful for Frederick tonight, and he can keep all four wheels pointing on the tarmac. He is at the moment, and he's in P8. Just having a look at the times that are coming through from him. It's a little bit slower than the very front, but this could very easily move him up the order on this lap. So let's have a look as he comes across the line. Crosses the line just, it's a very long way up the straight. There it is. And does he move up? Yes, he does. He moves up into fourth place. A great lap by Surley there at the last minute to put himself into the session. We're actually only down to 12 cars, I'm afraid, not 13 as I initially said. So we'll see who lines up on the grid this time in terms of anybody starting for pit lane, etc. as that comes on. But we are looking at the beautiful scenes here at Phillip Island. Wait until drivers are ready to go. Qualifying about 40 seconds away from finishing. Have to see how that comes up. Great to see a competitive grid though, over 3k for this soft here tonight, which means it's going to be really hot, really good to see how these drivers get on. little bit earlier. It's allowed the Finns to come and join in. Obviously, Philip Lindqvist as well, the Swede, has come in. So from the similar direction in the European Union. So I'll wait for the grid results to come through so we can show you how things stack for the grid. What a beautiful vision Phillip Island is here. No rain, nothing to worry about, which means we'll have the cars going at full pelt as they all start lining up on the grid. Aussie Turker takes pole position ahead of his countryman Jarno Markku. Mikey Pollard stays in that third place ahead of Frederick Surley. He put that lap in very short. A really good final sector, actually, there for Surley. Lundqvist, Ista. Oh, it sounds like we're about to go. And we are about to go already. So the grid is not able to be shown in full. But we do have Lindqvist, Ista, and many more fighting it out there. So let's have a look from the front of the grid. It looks like it's going to be... Looks like Aussie Turker takes the lead into turn 1, manages to cut off Markku into turn 2. Then it's Surley and Pollard, both in Filmbil cars. And then we are looking at Philip Lindqvist. Everybody actually moved away from the grid in order, and everyone's made it through the opening 3 corners. So we come down to the first hard breaking point of the lap. And it looks like Markku is going to have a move on Turk into there. Yes, he does. Pollard's trying to have a look up the inside. He won't be able to make it because he'll be on the outside for the next corner. But the top 4 starting to pull away a little bit from Alexander Ister already. So we'll see how that gets on. But it's Markku who leads, Turker second, Pollard third, and Surley fourth. That is your top 4 who are trying to scamper away from the rest of the field. You can have a look back here to Alexander Ister in 5th place, head of the Swede Philip Lindqvist. Roy Hunt and Stephen Strudwick are further back, which is not exactly where they'd expect or want to be. So they'll be looking to move forward. That's the 2 cars behind Ister here in 5th place. He's managed to catch up back onto the tail of Surley. So as they come across the line for the first time, there is Markku pulling out a bit of a lead of about 0.4 of a second. So it's actually really good lead there. As Turker is now under pressure from Pollard. Mikey Pollard having a look to the inside, isn't quite able to make it through, but they all slipstream back into order. So that lead is now down to 0.2 of a second for Markku, ahead of Turker and Pollard. Surley is in 4th, and Ister's managed to catch back up, along with Lindqvist and Strudwick. And then there's just Graham Roy Hunt hanging on at the back there. And actually, Joshua Harley is as well. So that, and then there's a gap back to Eduardo Bassista, Ron Shirley, and Mike Glazier did not take the start. Ossa Turker who leads. So Ossa Turker's in 2nd place. Sorry, it's Markku who leads in the black colours, and it's Turker in 2nd in the blue and white of Finland. These 2 Finnish drivers will want to try and work together because they know Pollard and Surley are technically teammates. Turker actually has a look into Lucky Heights. That'll be a move and a half into there and down into the shell hairpin. And everybody just stays in order. It's nice to stay in the slipstream around this circuit. It just keeps you on level terms. And I think at this moment in time, we could be looking, I'm sure Markku might have won this year, but we could be looking at a brand new winner for the year, which would be our 7th different winner in 7 races, as Turker goes for the lead on the outside going down to turn 1. And Pollard looks to the inside. We're going 3 wide down into turn number 1 here at Phillip Island. And it's Pollard that leads, does it? No, Turker right round the outside. Turker making that move, just got enough grit to stay on the circuit. Pollard moves up into 2nd. Markku drops to 3rd. That's showing the power of the slipstream around here. Turker was able to go right round the outside. Nice, brave move there, which stopped Pollard from being able to take the line he wanted into that first corner. A little bit wide by Turka into there, and Pollard now takes the lead. So Pollard up into the lead of this race, our third different leader so far in the opening 3 laps. So Pollard leads, Turka second, Marku third. Early in fourth. The train continues, Isto in fifth. Strudwick in sixth, Lindquist in seventh. So Lindquist lost a couple of positions from his start position to Isto and Strudwick, but certainly still in this fight. Have a look a bit further back here. Graham Roy Hunt is there on the back of this train, and he is at the back of the train because Joshua Harley has had a spin there, I think, on that downhill corner. We just missed it on board with him. Yeah, he just took a bit too much speed in there, spins out, and that takes him off the slipstream at the back of the field, which means it's going to be really hard for Joshua Harley to get back in this race. Back at the front, we're 3 wide again, and Marku then takes the lead. So it looks like whoever's third will take the lead into turn number 1. We'll try that again this time round. At the moment, it will be Pollard in third place. So it's finish, Marku, finish, Turka, sorry. Pollard, the Brit, in third. And actually, Turka's having a look down towards the sweeping left-hander Stoner. Not able to make it through. Will he make it through on the inside of a hairpin? Not quite this time. Marku and Turka, Pollard and Surly. And then there's a little bit of a gap opening up between Ista and Strudwick. Behind there, Strudwick just dropping off the back of Ista a bit. That's also dropping Lindquist back into the pack. And Hunter's dropped off the back of this pack slightly as well. So they are whittling down. The pace is whittling down the amount of people in this train. And honestly, if you're Marku or Turka up front, you probably want it to be as short as possible. Strudwick might just still get the slipstream. He's 6 tenths behind, and he's got a 5-car slipstream in front of him, so that will be pretty good going. But we are actually going to have a look at Mikey Pollard here, and we'll go on board with him and see if he can make it down into the corner. He gets the slipstream. Turka goes to the outside again. Marku to the left, to the right, and Pollard sits in. You can hear him lifting off the throttle. Pollard sits in this time and doesn't make that move that he's expected to move down into the first corner. So Turka now leads after going around the outside of Marku. Pollard didn't make that move, decided it wasn't best to here on lap number 5, but he knows it's there. Anybody in this group knows that position's there. Strudwick has done a great job to hang on to the back of this field. He's doing so in, there we go, in 6th place. Marku now goes for the lead up the inside in front of screen. But that Sauber coloured Formula Ford has managed to hold on to the slipstream here and will be there when, if or when any tears happen. And he's pulling Lundqvist along with him and away from Hunt, which is important for them because they can concentrate on moving forward. Pollard has a look at Turka as well. This is the thing about Phillip Island. There is a place in every single corner you can try and overtake. So coming round the final corner now to complete lap number 5. Go on to lap number 6. This is not even halfway through this race. We've only had 8.5 minutes gone. And here we go again. Will Turka goes to the outside yet again? Yes, he does. The inside is actually available every time he does it. And Pollard now goes for it when we don't go on board with him. And he's going to go up the inside of Turka. Turka's trying to hold it around the outside again. And he just about does so. Just keeps it within the track limits and makes it past Pollard. Marku down to 3rd, Surly 4th, Ista 5th. And as I said before on the last lap, Strudwick and Lundqvist doing a great job to hold on to all this. The fighting is helping, as now is that's Surly trying to have a go at the outside of Marku for 3rd place. Turka now takes the lead. No, Turka stays ahead of Pollard, sorry. But Pollard's got the inside line for the next corner, not able to make it through. So Turka now leads for pack. Surly didn't make it past Marku for 4th place. And we've got a pack of 7 here, slipstreaming their way towards a last lap decider here. And we're not even halfway through. So let's see if they can all be there at the end for a 7-car slipstream to the line. Down into the hairpin for the 6th time. Nobody really stepping out of line, a little bit wide by Marku. But that's okay, and actually that has put Surly right onto the back of him. And if we go on board with Frederick Surly, we might be able to get a good clean look at this. So as we come into the final corner, good slipstream. Pollard takes a Turka line, goes to the outside of Turka, and to the inside goes Marku. Surly backs off because there's literally nowhere to go. Will Pollard do the Turka? Oh, Surly actually has a look at Turka. Doesn't make it through. Turka now has a look at Pollard. And has he got 2nd place back into here? Pollard goes to the inside. We're going to let Marku get away a little bit here. Surly goes to the inside of Turka. Is he going to be able to make it? No, he doesn't make it round the outside. Pollard is now still following Marku. So Pollard didn't change position in that. And Surly is now past Turka. That's the first time we've seen Turka or Marku outside of the top 3 in this race. So the Filmbil cars are fighting away through this pack. The 3 of them there in 2nd, 3rd and 5th. Alex Ister keeping his nose clean at the moment, as is Strudwick and Lundqvist. Graham Hunt a bit further back, whereas only 10 seconds back in the end is Batista, Harley and Shield. And they're pretty much being ruled out of this race because you cannot catch up without the slipstream. But Marku has a bit of a lead down into the hairpin this time. It's closed up on the brakes by Pollard. And we're going to go again on... Well, actually, let's not go on board with 3rd place into this. We can use a chopper cam to show you the slipstream effect. So Marku and Pollard 1st and 2nd. There's Surly in 3rd. Pollard will go to the inside this time. Marku gives him the inside. Surly goes to the inside of Pollard. Down into turn number 1. And it's Frederick Surly who takes the lead for the first time here tonight. Marku looking around the outside. Turka and Ister side by side. And it's going to be Frederick Surly who leads from Marku. Pollard, can he slot back into 3rd? No, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to because Turka's on the inside of him. Turka gives him room on the outside, but it will be advantage Turka into the next corner. But then Pollard's coming back at him. Will Pollard hang around the outside? It looks like he will. Marku going for the lead off Surly now. As we can see down below, Surly manages to brake late, doesn't quite make it into the turning point, so Marku now leads. Pollard trying to take position off Surly, but Surly will have the inside line for the next corner, but allows Pollard to go. So far, Pollard was the quicker qualifier, so Surly using a bit of team tactics there. Ister in 4th place. Turka down to 5th. That's the furthest away Turka's been from the front of the field, but could still be just taking his time. He's actually dropped back quite a bit, and he's blocked Strudwick and Lundqvist as well, who will want to work together to get back onto his tail. It should be all fine and work itself down the back straight, so they're all pit straight, so they're all back together again. But this type of racing is just about being in the right place at the right time. It's almost like a NASCAR oval race, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top of it. Now, Marku comes across the line. Pollard is in 2nd place. Actually, it's the 3 Filmbil cars charging down on the back of Marku. Ister having the watch and brief. Surly slipping in behind his teammate. Ister goes behind Marku, which is interesting. So Pollard now leads from Marku. Ister going right round the outside of his teammate. Is he going to make that work on Surly? It doesn't look like it's so. Turka's back in here as well. No, Surly actually drops behind Ister into that 3rd place. So it's the first time we've seen a move by Alex Ister starting to make his move towards the front. 14 minutes gone. Up the inside goes Marku to try and take the lead back off Pollard. Really clean, precise racing by these drivers. Nobody's touched wheels at the moment. And it's just keeping it nice and clean, respectful as well. Marku and Pollard still side by side. This is just slowing them down, and Ista's got nowhere to go through this section apart from maybe push Marku to the lead. No, Pollard's still on the inside, and he's getting squeezed a bit, so Marku will take the lead from Pollard. Turka and Surly swapping positions at the back. But Turka, yet again, I mentioned it before, that was deep by Marku there. That's going to make a bad run onto a pit straight, but Strudwick and Lindquist are still there. They're two people really to watch in this, because they could keep the nose clean and pick up some positions at the end of a race if there's any incidents. But Filmbil cars, all three of them swarming around. It's like fighter pilots swarming around its enemy. We might even go 4 wide. No, not quite. It was Ista who decided 4 wide was not a good idea. Turk around the outside from 5th. Can he get into 3rd? We have a look up the inside. Yes, Turka goes 3rd. What a move around the outside of the first corner. Takes 2 of them Filmbil cars and puts himself straight back in the percentage game of the win. Lundqvist has got alongside Strudwick and Pass. That's a move up by Lundqvist due to a mistake by Strudwick in the second corner. And Marku now heads to Surly's lead. It's just swapping all the time. Our Strudwick actually caught the grass, it seems, in turn number 2, and that's what caused the problem. Surly trying to hang on to the inside of Marku, but Marku will get the better run out the corner. It will make sense for well, Surly wants to pull back in behind, but look who's there. It's RC Turka. Drivers at the front still side by side. Surly will have the inside into here. Will Marku hang around the outside? No, he doesn't, but he gets back in a position where he can make the move on the pit straight. No one will start making moves down here. It's just pointless trying to make moves down here. It's the Pollard covers from Ista just to make sure, but it's Frederick Surly, the sponsor of this race. Nobody tell me it's a fix. It's the front of the field for the second time here tonight. We've got just over 3 minutes left to go, so we're looking at probably 2 more laps. As Surly is now attacked by Marku on the outside. That seems to be the favourite line, because you can just sweep around the outside like Marku's going to do. And Surly's not exactly giving it up, but Marku sleeps around the outside. It's interesting to see that outside line is the one to have for turn number 1, even if you're probably leading a race, because you can sweep around with more speed. Yet again, Marku just pulls a little bit of a resting gap. It will be pulled in by the slipstream by Surly, and Turka will just be sensible down into here. Turka has a look at Surly and actually moves up into that second place. Does he? No. Surly hangs it around the outside and will have the inside for the next corner. Turka's just ahead, but Surly has got plenty of the car alongside to hold on here. Will he knock Turka back into 3rd place? Yes, he will. And now it's time for Pollard to try and get the run on Turka. I don't think it'll work. It's side by side, but it won't work because of the way the track falls. And Surly now pulling a little bit of a gap because of that fight from Turka. Surly looks to the inside. Pollard is still there and gets it the position on Aussie Turka. Great move by Pollard to hold off there. I didn't think he was going to be able to do it because he didn't have the outside run on the corner. Have to see this time by if the white flag comes out. I think it possibly will, only just though. The pace has been red hot here. Strudwick and Lundqvist are still on the back of this pack to pick up any pieces. So we come across the stripe, I believe, for the final time before. Yes, the white flag is out. Barney, the flagman, waves it. Surly goes for the lead. This is the last chance down into turn 1 you get. Lundqvist at the back with the fastest lap of the race. And Surly leads from Marku. Marku trying to have a look back. Surly shuts the door tightly on the inside and white lines it. Then you've got Pollard and that Turka alongside. Ista just keeping that watching brief. Pollard with a bit of a different line. Doesn't want to catch the pack too quickly into this next bit. To the inside goes Marku. Marku is still there. Just a blink on his connection. but Surly would dive probably for the inside. No, he won't. He doesn't go to the inside. And that's Pollard going for the inside of Ista. Turka back into 5th place. Lindquist with absolutely nowhere to go and just has to sit there in 6th, even though they have had the pace because of the toe of the slipstream. I've got to admit, this is one of the most respectful, clean, great battles we have seen in Formula Ford racing over the soft races. And it is now Marco and Surly who have pulled 6/10 of a second gap, the biggest gap between all of these. The two Filmbil cars of Pollard and Ista fighting over 3rd place behind. But now it looks like it could be between these front two because of a fight behind. Ista loses out to Pollard, but then we'll have the inside line for the next corner. But I'm going to keep my eyes on these front two. Oh, Ista, there's been an accident behind. I'm not going to... I'll go back to it afterwards because Lundqvist and Strudwick, 3rd and 4th. What did I tell you? But here we go. To the line. Who's going to get it? It is Surly or Marku. Surly or Marku. Surly or Marku. It's Frederick Surly who takes the win here at Phillip Island. Marku in 2nd place. Lundqvist takes 3rd and fastest lap of the race. Strudwick in 4th. Ossie Turka comes across the line in 5th place. Hunt takes 6th, Harley takes 7th, Batista and Shell 8th and 9th, and Ista and Pollard are out of the race. They've had to tow, and it's donut time for Frederick Surly in the gravel. And I've got to admit, if you've seen the soft races in the past, that is a much better way of doing it than we ever saw from our champion a few times when they tried donuts. That was a good few donuts there by you, Frederick Surly. But he does take the win only just. And we'll go back to that final lap and just try and see what happened to Mikey Pollard and Ossie Turka and Alex Ista as well. So if I just try and see where it was, this could be it. Yes, we'll go side by side. This is on board with Alexander Ista. Up into the hairpin. He's side by side with Mikey Pollard here and manages to make it through. Leaves the space on the inside for Pollard. Pollard moves ahead. Ista is slightly behind. Oh, and there's a bit of net code there which spins out Pollard, and then that takes Ista out. And there's Pollard right. Oh, Pollard's up and over. So and then Alex Ista tries to rejoin. Can't quite get stuck. Ista somehow gets stuck on the gravel. So we'll see if we can get on board with Mikey Pollard for this as well. It's a bit earlier in the lap, so we'll try this one here. Here we are, Pollard alongside Ista. Come up into Lucky Heights. Pollard will get the advantage of having the inside line on this hairpin. Come down the hill. Turns into the left-hander. The net code just gets him, and he keeps going. But then he gets and then I think he gets pushed around by Ossie Turka up over onto his, and that's upside down for Pollard. Now we'll try and see it on board from Ossie Turka. He did go off the track here, so we'll click the same one and then find Ossie. This is on board with Ossie Turka. Comes around top of Lucky Heights into the hairpin. Ossie looks to the outside to get a run, sees the two teammates collide, and goes into a very closing gap. To be fair on the others, that was a closing gap for Ossie Turka. And I don't think it was ever going to be a possibility of making it through. Now we'll just have a look from the TV camera. And that little touch from Ista into Pollard. When Ossie just tries to go for the gap because it's the last lap. But that gap was always closing. And somehow, there goes Pollard over. Ossie Turka crabs to the line in some kind of condition. But Strudwick and Lindquist, as I said all along, were just sitting there waiting and able to take advantage of that race. I did also just say it was the cleanest race I'd seen for a long time. Something had to happen, didn't it? Something had to happen along the way. Here's your results for the Formula Ford on Monday night, week 7 here from Phillip Island. Frederick Surley and Yonu Marku come across the line, only 38 thousandths between them as they cross the line, but it was enough for Surley to take his first win of the season. Philip Lundqvist rounds out your podium after taking advantage of keeping his nose clean. Also comes home with the fastest lap of the race. Stephen Strudwick is a well-deserved 4th after taking his time and keeping up. They did a great job, them two, of just getting stuck in the position there. Just got stuck trying to keep in with that group, and then they managed to, and that was important for their race. Ossie Turker, who ran into a closing gap, was in 5th place. Graham Hunt takes 6th ahead of Joshua Harley, those two having a very quiet race. Eduardo Batista in 8th place. Ron Shell getting that 9th place ahead of Mikey Pollard and Alex Ister, who both retired on the final lap. And Mike Glazier didn't take the start. Well, it's victory for Frederick Surley there at this Formula Ford soft race for tonight. Maybe that change in time just took the advantage for Frederick Surley, and we will see how he gets on next week. And actually, we'll see how everybody gets on next week, because next week, I'm just bringing the timetable just to double check. Next week will be Winter Motor Raceway, not a favourite. It's more like a kart track for these cars, but it can produce some close racing, and it does have a technical section of the hairpins around the circuit. So Winter Motor Raceway next week, it'll be at 19:45 GMT yet again. And we hope you enjoyed the action here today. And please leave a like and a subscribe on the YouTube channel, please, or on the Twitch channel if you are on Twitch watching this live. Please hit a follow there, and we appreciate your help very, very much. See you next week for Winton. Hello, everybody. Somebody wanted to see what happened to Istar. Let's go Istar and see where he got stuck, shall we? What do we need? We need a chase cam, really, don't we? Box. Crashes leader, chase cam. Go. It was net code between the two. Ossie into a closing gap, tipped the two into each other. That put Pollard on his roof. And yeah, it's literally just let's see if we got a better view of it. No, we haven't from that. We'll just go back a bit. What happened? Yeah, there's a lump there, just as in the middle of his car now, which just gets him stuck. Left rear, actually. Yeah, and it's just spinning the wheels, and he's stuck. That's so unfortunate for Alex. I mean, to be fair, still would have been a result down the order, but that's really unfortunate that he wasn't able to finish the race. Like one of them where you just go, oh, it's just annoying. Thank you, Pete. Will we see you back in the softs now the time's changed? Hopefully. I'd like to see Peter van der Noord doing well in the softs. Close that. End the stream here on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you sometime next week.